Welcome back. The Calcutta High Court transferred the probe into financial irregularities at the RG Car Hospital to CBI from the state-constituted SIT. Yes, the financial irregularities. And this has become a core issue, a demand raised by many in the civil society. Financial wrongdoing being suspected. A day earlier, the High Court had rapped the Bengal government as to why the SIT was formed a year after allegation at the state-run Kolkata hospital had first emerged. The former Deputy Superintendent of the state-run Medical College Hospital, Akhtar Ali, moved the court seeking an investigation by the ED and its ex-principal, Sandeep Ghosh, over alleged financial irregularities during his tenure. So now let's listen to him what he had to say.
ये उनके करप्शन के अगेंस्ट में, उनके मैल प्रैक्टिस के अगेंस्ट में, फिनेंशियल लिटिगेशन और कुछ स्कैम था जिसके अगेंस्ट में मैंने कंप्लेन लगाया था। फिर हाई कोर्ट से मैंने अपनी सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी के लिए भी अपील किया है, क्योंकि मुझे भी धमकियां आ रही हैं और ये बहुत बड़ा स्कैम है, बहुत बड़ा नेक्सस है संदीप घोष का, जिसको मैं एक्सपोज करना चाहता हूँ। ये बहुत सारे जैसे बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट का, जैसे डेड बॉडी का, जैसे टेंडर दे करके कमीशन लेना, छात्रों को फेल कराना, फेल करके पैसे लेना, और जैसे इलीगल जो स्टॉल कियोस्क है ये सब देने गए टेंडर वगैरह के रेंट पे देना। तो इस तरह का बहुत सारा इरेगुलरिटीज है, उसमें डेड बॉडी भी एक है। तो मैं चाहता हूं कि इसकी इंक्वायरी हो ऊंचे लेवल में और उनको सजा मिले और उनका ये रैकेट जो है इसका पर्दाफाश हो।
The High Court also ordered the SIT to hand over the case files to CBI by 10 a.m. on Saturday. The High Court added that the investigation cannot be fragmented into different agencies and that a probe by the CBI would ensure consistency. The court asked the SIT to also hand over the CCTV footage along with the files by Saturday. In another development, the CBI has sent the main accused Sanjay Roy to 14-day judicial custody, and it's also reported that he has given his nod for a polygraph test. Now, before I get any further, let me introduce Shankadeep Das, Chief Editor The Wall, who joins me from Calcutta, and Brijesh Pandey, who's with me in the studio. Shankadeep, now there is going to be a probe into the financial wrongdoing of the RG Car Hospital. I mean, so why wasn't there a probe earlier? Why does it require courts to get into issues like that, which should have been dealt by the civil agencies? Can you unmute yourself? Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So this man Sandeep Ghosh, he was very close to the ruling party. So and he was enjoying absolute power. So now Akhtar Ali, who is now raising all the questions, he even couldn't raise anything against him when he was in the game of affairs. So now when the whole episode came up, people are raising voice against him, and now government suo motu has started a probe against Sandeep Ghosh. Government has consulted a SIT, special investigating team, to look into the matter of the allegations, to look into the matter of the financial irregularities of Sandeep Ghosh. So because now people are talking about Sandeep Ghosh corruption and other things. See, you have to understand that Sandeep Ghosh enjoyed absolute power in Karnataka. When he was helm of affairs, nobody raised any question against him. Anybody raised any question against him, then government have constituted a committee. But there is no one has raised anything against him. Now, when this horrible episode came up, people have started talking about him. It was there. Nobody was talking about him.
The discrepancy
and one thing more particular, from the very first day, the government intention was never to protect anyone. What happened afterwards, three pieces of work which government took, the perception gone horribly wrong. First, to transfer Sandeep Ghosh to another medical college, and it sent a message that government wants to protect him, or government wants to, And it's the message that you are one of the chief minister. And second thing, the government started demolishing the wall in the Article Medical College Hospital. It again gave a prescription. The government is trying to, hooked up with the evidences and all. Destroy the evidences and all. And third, the attack which has happened on the very night of 14th August in Archikar Hospital, it also gave a wrong signal to the public. So these are the three incidents which went against the government. But from the very first day, the chief minister's intention was never to protect. And you see, within 7 and 8 hours, the prime accused got arrested, and CBI got the investigation charge on last Tuesday, and in the last 7 8 days, CBI even couldn't arrest or detain any other person apart from this Sanjay Roy.
Okay. Now, questions are also being raised over Kolkata Police handling of the case. The Kolkata Police presented a timeline of events and the action in the brutal rape and murder case of RG doctor to the Supreme Court on Thursday. They differ. The versions differ. Now, you heard the entire proceedings inside. Why is this difference, As Shankadeep was saying that the intent was not there. So why these two versions are differing?
See, I think, the way it should have been carried, the kind of sensitivity that should have been displayed both by the police, the hospital administration and later on by the state government, it was missing right from the word go. The parents were fed inconsistent version about the death or the nature of the death and how their daughter died. Continuously right from the word go. First they said that she has suffered injury, then it was told to their parents that she has committed suicide, and later on when they got to see the body, there were beating marks and there were marks on the body which said that torture was inflicted or she was assaulted with blunt force. This is what led to a massive sow of suspicion. The police is still not able to find out who exactly was the first person who saw her dead and who brought out the entire
Absolutely
thing. And the second, as Sankhudip very rightly pointed out, it was not that that the government was trying to protect the principle of this thing, but the fact is that from the transfer, he was immediately transferred to another school as the principal. It sent a very wrong message. It sent that you are transferring him and putting him at the same position just to protect it. The intent was not wrong, but the way it was handled is a textbook example of how things should not have been.
Okay, now let me play out the bite of the parents. And the sense they have.
संदीप घोष जो करती है उसको सीबीआई इन्वेस्टिगेट करेगा।
हाँ, सुना है। फिर वो तो डिवीजन बेंच पे अप्लाई करने के लिए चला गया, तो सीबीआई ना हो।
आपको को क्या लगता है जो घटनाक्रम में जिस तरह से संदीप घोष के ऊपर ब्लेम आ रहा है, वो कि उस तरह का आदमी है?
यार हमको उसके साथ तो हम लोग बात नहीं हो पाया। जिस दिन इस घटना घटी थी उस दिन भी जरूरत पड़े थे उनको हमको बुला रहा था। फिर स्टूडेंट लोग बोला नहीं वो आपके में कोई नहीं जाएगा, आप इधर आइए। फिर आया था लेकिन हमसे कोई बात नहीं की।
आप लोगों का ये जो डिसीजन हाईकोर्ट ने दिया, ये सही मानते हैं आप? जांच होना चाहिए इसका।
सब कुछ तो सब एक नागरिक होने के नाते सबको तो लगता है जो सब ठीक ठाक चले, लेकिन ठीक ठाक नहीं चल रहा है। ये तो हम सब लोग दिख रहा है, सबका अभी मालूम पड़ गया।
अभी तक जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में उठ के आ रहा है, जैसे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाके सीबीआई ने बताया है, इसको लेके आप लोगों का क्या बोलना है?
सीबीआई भारत के सबसे बड़ा और अच्छे एजेंसी है जो सब काम निपटाते हैं, लेकिन ये काम में जो 10 दिन उन्होंने चार्ज लिया, अभी तक कोई तो अच्छा रिजल्ट नहीं आया है। फिर हम मांगेंगे कि उसके साथ वो जल्दी से जल्दी सख्त कार्रवाई करके दोषी को कड़ी से कड़ी सजा दे।
Okay. Now, Shankadeep, you are saying that there was no problem in the intent. Fair enough. No problem in the intent. But why? How come there is a discrepancy which Brijesh was talking about in the versions? What was observed in the Supreme Court of India, what the Kolkata Police is saying, and what CBI is claiming in its interim report?
It is true that there were initial research, on the part of the hospital. First, the assistant superintendent of the hospital, she called up the victim's parent and told that it was a suicide, right? And then, I mean, what I'm trying to say that there was some kind of discerning on the part of the hospital. But on government's part, the intention was never ever to hide anything, because the day incident happened, within few hours, the Chief Minister herself reached to the parents of the victim. She actually monitored the investigation and see, say, if there was no instruction from the Chief Minister, these 30-40 senior police officers went to the spot on the very when they got the message that that kind of an incident happened in that hospital. The police commissioner himself, all the senior police officers, the DC of that local area, everybody went to the hospital and the investigation started, and they could caught hold of the problem acute. So what I am trying to say, definitely there were misunderstandings. There were misunderstandings in the process. I mean, in the filing of the case, like when the FIR was lost, the postmortem was done before FIR could. The police lost the FIR. Postmortem happened in the evening between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. But FIR was lost at 11:30 p.m. at the night. So these were the basic misunderstanding on the part of police and the part of administration and the part of the hospital. But what I am trying to say, that intention was not wrong, and subsequently the decisions government have taken, then the perceptions went horribly wrong against the government, and this kind of things happens when there is absolute power. Sandeep Ghosh was enjoying absolute power. He thought thing will happen. I will manage everything. I will manage the victim's parents. We can say that this were suicidal attempt of suicide. So these things never happened. On the part of Chief Minister, I would say that she could actually sense that it was a horrible incident when she reached out to the parents on the very on that day, on 9th of August, and on 10th of August, she had a press conference. The press conference said, "I am giving Kolkata Police 7 days time. If they cannot complete the investigation, I will personally hand it over to the CBI." So before High Court could pass the order that we are transferring the case to the CBI, Chief Minister herself said that we will transfer the case to the CBI. And Kolkata Police videographed the entire episode. I mean, they videographed the crime scene, they videographed the postmortem, everything. But you know, afterwards,
but Shanko, I think Shanko, Brijesh wants to come in. Brijesh.
I'm just saying that there also mishandling by the government, in the sense that the couple of MLAs and all, they made very inflammatory statement saying that that why are these people protesting, and when later on, when 7,000 strong mob ransacked the entire hospital and the doctors were threatened and all, it looked like the intent may be anything, but the perception which was gaining ground was that the government was trying to shield Ghosh come what may. And once the cat was out of the bag, then on one fine day, 2-3 days back, the entire top administration of the hospital was changed. I think Mamata Banerjee should have read a riot act to the ministers, not to or MLAs, not to make an irresponsible statement, and they should have ensured that ransacking should not have taken place.
Thank you, Brijesh, and thank you, Shankodeep, for joining me from Calcutta. I'm really running short of time, but yes, I would definitely say that the mishandling was there, but it started to reflect on the political executive. And I think the opposition, for the first time, took better of Mamata Banerjee, because it is an emotive issue. And and people were reminded, and I think I'm not wrong in saying, of something like a Nirbhaya 2 incident. And that is why you had emotion and spontaneous reaction all across India. It was not limited to Kolkata. So before I come out of this story, I leave you with a bite of the opposition.
देखिए, ये बहुत ही संगीन मामला है और हाई कोर्ट की इस राय को हम सम्मान करते हैं और उसका स्वागत करते हैं, और इसकी सीबीआई इंक्वायरी हो। मुझे तो लगता है मनी ट्रेल की विषय है, इसलिए ईडी को भी इसमें घुसना चाहिए और इस मनी ट्रेल को देखना चाहिए। और मैं डॉक्टर अख्तर अली साहब को बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज ही इज व्हिसल ब्लोअर, और उनके ही जो उन्होंने ये लिख के भी भेजा था, लेकिन वो लौट के फिर से राज्य सरकार को लिख के भेजा था, लेकिन वो लौट के फिर से उनके उस जिसके खिलाफ कंप्लेन है उसके पास ही हमारे